Okay. Today we're looking at what I've called married in community of property. And we start with the song, Jesus is Alpha, Alpha and Omega. Jesus is Alpha, Alpha and Omega. So I praise him for his Alpha, Alpha and Omega. So I praise him for his Alpha, Alpha and Omega. Like him I want to be forever. Like him I want to be forever. So I praise him for his Alpha, Alpha and Omega. Okay, just looking at the way the discourse of marriage and relationship has changed. You have situations where people are married in community of property, which is really the title of the podcast. In other words, they have everything in common. People can also be married out of community of property. So the couple, they have, you know, their different properties in their own names. So that if there's any kind of issue, the person takes their property and leave, the other person takes their property and leave. And then you have prenuptial agreements where people make, some kind of agreement before marriage, which is also very related to married in an act of community of property. You have living lovers. So the whole discourse is changing. Even if you look at polygamy, which was rife back in the day in Africa, but of course it was more of the polygyny, not the polyandry. But you still have situations where women can have more than one husband, and of course men having more than one wife, which is polygyny. Now you have same-sex marriage, you have open marriages. I mean, it's like it's a bubble out there. So we really need to have guidance from the author of marriage. God is the author of marriage. And if you look at Matthew 19, verse 4, and he answered and said unto them, that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female. And for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they're no longer two, but one flesh. Wherefore, what God has joined together, let not man separate. So what God intended was for the people to come together and become one. You know, literally become one. Everything they have in common, and this is clearly encapsulated in Ruth chapter 1 verse 16. I know this is about a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law, but people have always used this for marriage because basically it speaks to what marriage is supposed to be about. But Ruth said, "Entreat me not to leave you or to turn back from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God." It's a total commitment, under God, you know. And so I'm conscious of the fact that sometimes you have marriages that are transactional, you have trophy wives, you have all kinds of things that people have come up with. So basically, this is just a call to return to the original plan, period. If we really want to make a success of our lives and our relationships.